integrations, there are the 3 processes that she runs.
Okay.
Annual, this one right here. So these are the annual, the ones that have annual in it. But this is the first one. This first one creates a file that they're supposed to review. Okay. And that file right now, that file is in PS interface, but it will be on the server, or they can just pull it from their, as a matter of fact, let me just do it like they would do it. So she ran it already, so let me just go find it for you. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go into results. And here is where she ran the first one. See that one right there?
Okay.
That's the first one. So what she will do is go get the file that it creates. Here's the first one for Ceci, and then there's one for Vejo. Okay.
Okay.
She can just download her or Nelly, doesn't matter who, but when they open it, it is basically a preliminary run. What this does is it shows them everybody who for that particular group who they're going to process for. So it gives them all the information. And this should look familiar for you. This was the way they had it in the old payroll system.
Okay.
Do you recall how this looks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what they want to do is what Josefina would do is she would go through and cherry pick like 10 people from the file. So it's pretty big for a Vejo. So she would pick 10 people and look to see that the faltas that are being taken away from the day count are correct. Just to make sure that everything, most of the time everything's working right, is when there's a change that she really needs to look at it.
Okay.
So in this case, the process is using 30 days. This person had 1 falta, so now the process is going to calculate him postpone at 29 days.
Okay.
Right? And so this is the amount that's going to get deposited, 310 for this guy. So I give more information at the end because I want to show what month we're processing for. I want to show the number of days in the process and then the number of days worked. This is based on their hire date or their rehire date, depending on what they have.
Okay.
So, and then I'm just giving here is whatever that date I'm using to factor this information in, because sometimes there was an issue with rehires. It was still calculating with the old hire date. So I had to make a change. And so that's why I put the date value here, what I'm using, so she could see it real quick. So she just looks at these files, and if she's okay with them, then she knows that she can just run the process. So this is for her to do a preliminary check. So step 1 is for them to do a preliminary check. This step 2, loads the data into the time card. So it will take whatever the month is, and then the 21st, always apply it on the 21st, and then the year. So in this case, the 21st is in the current pay period. So she's going to just go and make sure that everything loaded correctly. So based on what she saw in the file, it's going to take the 2 values, employee ID and falta, and the day count. In the current pay period. Right. Oh, I got to go over a little bit more. Hold on. There we go. I was like, wait a minute, that's not a lot there. So over here, because I made it a little bit bigger for you to see. So this is the amount from the file that it said it was going to pay. This is the amount of day count. This is what Morales needs. They want not only the amount, they want the day count used for this data. So once it's here, if she found someone that is incorrect in the file or that she needs to make a correction to, she will still load the data and then just recall that person and then go directly into the time card, and then she can make a manual edit here. So if she says, okay, well, this person was actually supposed to get 1 day less, she would change this to 29 and then change that to 1310, I think it was, and then save it. So there's only, the majority of the people are going to be correct, but if there's one person that needs a correction that they didn't get their faults historically corrected, then they can go in manually once it's loaded here to make a correction to anyone. All right? You still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just had to make sure. So now that the data is here and it's sitting, she's ready to send it. So now she has to run the third part. The third part, where did it go? There it is. The one just creates the file, the payroll file to send. Okay, and so like she's already processed payroll on Tuesday, so all those files got processed and sent. Now she has to use this process, this interface, who takes the data from the time card and just loads it on files and puts it in that P drive for right now. Then in PeopleSoft, there's a process here that she's going to run. So she would log in to, log into people. Oh my God, I can't spell my name right. Here we go. Okay. And then, so then what she would do would come into her PeopleSoft area and I'm going to show you this. They don't see this, but I will show you. So in PeopleSoft, and this will not happen in Morales, so you don't have to worry about it, but I want to tell you because we still have to do this for, it looks like, next month as well. In PeopleSoft is the name of all the files that will send are active for Kronos. All right. So all of these files are here. It looks here to make sure that they're valid and active, and then it's going to send them. But what she does is let me make sure, see if it's in my favorites or not. Import payroll. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go here. So payroll for Mexico. She will go here, manage Kronos process, and transfer the files. What this process does here is literally go to the NA inbound TA data folder and look for the files in here. Well, MB out. Let me make sure. It's going to look for them here. These are those summary files, the ones I showed you in step 1.
Okay.
These are those files here. These are the summary data, their validation data. When she runs step 3, it's going to put them here as well, and they're named differently. But that process in PeopleSoft, this one, literally goes to look for those files here and then transfers them to the GIS folder. So GIS, Morales, outbound, Kronos. So it'll place them here. And then the GIS process picks them up on the top of the hour and at the bottom of the hour, and then FTPs them over to Morales.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that we're gonna be on the cloud in the SaaS version,
Right.
Morales have to pick up these files from,
No. So when we go to the SaaS environment, Morales will now pick up from here.
Yeah, from the FTPS, right?
From here, correct. And then in production, and then WIM out.
Yeah.
They'll be put here.
They need to go there and pick up the files.
Yes,
manually.
Morales will.
Okay.
Yeah, so we eliminate the PeopleSoft side, we eliminate GIS. We're literally going straight from Kronos to this transfer area.
Okay, so and the files here are gonna be there forever?
Well, I think, that's a good question. That's a question to ask Kronos. How often do they clean them out?
Yeah.
Because I would like them to do what we do. So what we do is in our process, I take them and I put them in an archive because I like to go back and if something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go back to inbound, TA data, so MB out. So see how I write the files here and I put the date? This is important for us to have because sometimes, let's just say Morales never gets the files or they take the files and they delete them for some odd reason. You can just take them from an area, wherever that area is going to be, and then put them out there again. But you do still have this option. So let me just show you this real quick. So as the files are placed here, they're created in Kronos. You can still go to the output and pull those files. Just go to the results. Let me go back a little bit further here. See all the results here?
Yeah.
So if I went to this one here, the number 3, well, let's do number 1. 1 is the one that creates the files. If I went here, the files are attached in the application, so you can download.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So every process, every payroll process that's run, let me go over here real quick. So here are some right here, bonus. This is, so if I wanted to pull this, well, I think this was testing, but let's just see. See, here's the files right here. This is an attendance monthly file. So
Okay.
if you needed to pull down payroll files again for whatever reason, you can, well, this didn't have any data because I was testing. You can still go to the process in the results area and look for it and click on it and bring that one. But that's only the one that's run at that time because we're overwriting every time, right?
Yep.
I would like the files to be archived. So I would like to see them take our files.
Yeah, especially because Morales is gonna be very confused to find 1,000 of files there.
Right. So I'd like them to maybe have a script to, I don't know, at the end of the week, pull anything here and tag it with a date and then put it in a archive folder or something.
Yeah.
Somehow. But
I think that we can create that script if we can connect to the SFTP.
Okay.
But let me check that.
Okay,
with,
but for now,
Chapter.
yeah, for now, I can tell that she hasn't run step 3 yet, and she needs to run it fast in order to get it over to Morales.
Okay.
Because it should have been there, actually, the 21st, it should have been there on the 22nd.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
Yeah, all she has to do, and even, all she has to do, or her or Nellie, has to just come in here, click on number 3. When it's done, go into PeopleSoft and run transfer archives.
Okay.
Then 30 minutes or the top of whatever the top of the bottom is next, the time, GIS will pick it up and send it, but they should do it as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, probably she was scared that the last time the file was empty, remember?
Yeah, I think it's because I think she didn't use the right dates, right? And that's going to be the important thing. So I'm going to go into test real quick so I can show you. We won't run anything. So I'll just do it in test here. Oops, that's where I can't type right now. Okay. All right, so interfaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so hopefully I did it in test and it's going to do what I want it to do. Okay, so when she clicks run, she's going to put in the date. This is where it's important. Remember we talked about the date. She has to remember, and this will be in SAS as well. She has to remember where her 21st date is. If it's in the previous pay period, she's going to use the 12th through the 18th, right? If her 21st date is in the current, which it is this time, she has to use the start date of the 19th and then the end date of the 25th.
Yeah.
You're right. That's the change there. So she's going to use, oops, come back here. There we go. She's going to use 10, what'd I just say?
19.
20, because that's the format it wants, and then you hit continue, and then 10,
Yeah, 26.
25, 25, 25.
25.
Sunday's 25th. Yeah, Sunday's the 25th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then once she gets it, she just hits continue. And oh, she's got to do it for the second one too, because it's processing for Ceci and for Morales. So 10, 19, 20, and hit continue. 10, 25, 20. So whatever the format is there, that's what she has to use. And then it's just going to run. And if there's data in the time cards, then it's just going to pull it.
Okay.
So you can just go look here real quick. I don't think, yeah, there wasn't anything there. One record created. This is probably either a test or the header record. Yeah, it's just the header record because we're in test. But that's all she has to do is just simply run it and then go into PeopleSoft and run that part.
Yeah, I don't know why they mentioned that you used to do this.
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not do this. There were times if Josefina had an issue, I would help her. And, instead of her taking forever to do it, because I know Morales is waiting for it, I would just go ahead and run the process for her, fix it and then run it.
Okay.
Because I know it's timely, but right now everything's good to go. All she has to do is run step 3, run it in PeopleSoft, and then GIS will send it.
Okay.
Okay, but have her do it sooner rather than later. I'll be on my way out right now, and I won't be back till later on this evening. But you can get me on my phone through Teams here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Marta's a little bit,
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be pushed. So.
Well, tell her she better because it's Friday and Morales probably has a bank deadline.
Yeah, I know. I'll try.
Tell her Josie said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
you're welcome. Bye.